Here we are. I'm gonna give this video thing a try. I think you guys all know me from the stuff we've been shipping on the Generalist video channel already. It's Michael here, not Raz. If this was Raz, he would be running with his Osmo handheld thing. I'm not able to run right now. I'm on my third and final foot surgery and mostly do walking and rucking, hopefully running soon, but I don't think I'll run and do video. It's a bit much for me. You can probably recognize I'm out on the one of the green corridor pathways out in Clementi right now. I love Singapore's walking pass. I do a lot of walking, trying to get my step count back up over last year's step count. We'll see how that goes. But I want to try to do video a little bit more and post these on the Generalist video channel. And, obviously we're trying to focus on being a podcast and interview people, and we're going to launch an episode, I believe, this week. Bear with us, we're getting it done. But we also have lots of other ideas for things we want to do, like live events and more short form, and just, generally talk to everybody and interview people and bring our style to the media, consumption possibilities in the region and maybe even beyond. So what I want to do is set a few ground rules or more about me as we kind of do this, because I think if you notice me on LinkedIn and stuff like that, I have a certain style about me. It's pretty upfront and, pretty, just straight on. Like, I kind of tell as I see it, but I'm not trying to be right or wrong. I'm trying to kind of lead with talking about how I feel about things. I try to use data, but, I don't want anybody to get any misconceptions about who I am or what I'm trying to do. I live in Singapore. I'm a huge fan of Singapore, but I think it's important to talk about issues. Not everything's perfect. I'm a permanent resident here, so sometimes I talk about what it's like, as a permanent resident in Singapore, and having my kids in the local school system and having my kids in public hospitals. Those are like subjects I think are things that I talk about sometimes. I also talk about the startup ecosystem with the lens of like, there's not one way to build a startup. There's many ways to build a startup, or let's say a business. You might bootstrap it. You might get funding. You might take a small loan. Like, I think sometimes we're so focused on a certain definition of like a venture capital based startup, but that's not really the only way. So we'll talk about that. There's other ways to do this. We'll also talk about, the Southeast Asian startup ecosystem. It's also got its issues. It's got problems with potentially the size of it, and that it's not really one addressable market. There's not a lot of exit capabilities. I don't prescribe the answers for all these. I don't think I have them, but I think I know enough to talk about them. But the idea is to talk about them with folks that are going to potentially watch this and comment on it. And ideas that we have are even doing some live events that are maybe like a podcast filmed in front of an audience, but the idea there is to bring people on who have opposing opinions and maybe even have better answers than we do, to kind of talk it through, but do it in like an event format. So those are things we're going to try to tackle. And this is kind of the vein of what we think the generalist is, and it's this whole idea of kind of a range of subjects with occasional deep dives into specialties. But we'll keep talking about how we feel about that whole structure. And, the other thing that Raz and I are trying to do is just learn by doing. So we're going to start shipping things. We're going to keep kind of expanding our vantage point of how to do this. And hopefully we'll get some followers and we'll get some true fans out there to give us some feedback and help us make this better and more useful for everybody. So that's it for now. I'm going to get back to my walking. I hope you enjoy the blue sky behind me and have a great day. Bye.